And now we welcome on from PennLive.com, covers the Ravens for them. That is, of course, our sister site, Aaron Kasinitz. Aaron, how are you?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
We're doing great, thank you. Well, first of all, I'm sure that Dan watched the game the other night. I watched it as well. And Lamar looked pretty good in that game. It looked like he came back with fresh legs, a great new attitude. And I don't know, do you think these guys, Lamar in particular, are they on the upswing after being in COVID hell?
Certainly, I think emotionally they're on the upswing. Covering this team this year has been a little interesting because Lamar hasn't been himself at times. He's really a joyful kind of person. He's energetic and all that, and that kind of came back Tuesday night. Weird to say Tuesday night for a football game, but he did a little mini high step when he scored a touchdown, and he sprinted to celebrate with teammates, and he's been laughing in press conferences. It's kind of you don't know what you have until it's gone. I think I think COVID did hit him. He was, sick and ill. And he said he spent most of the 10 days he was on the COVID list sleeping. So I think when he got back, he was energized, liked being around his teammates. Will that turn into better production, against a team that's playing well like the Browns? I don't know. That's really tough to say, but at least emotionally and momentum wise, I do think they're moving in the right direction.
But what has been different about him on the field this year?
Yeah, there's so many things, and I think we put so much attention on the quarterback, but it really is an entire offense. And you look at the offense last year, the Ravens broke records for their, rushing yards. Well, they had two really, really good offensive linemen, Marshall Yanda, who's an 8-time Pro Bowler, and Ronnie Stanley, who was a first-team All-Pro left tackle. Neither of those guys are on the field anymore. Marshall Yanda retired in March. Ronnie Stanley suffered a torn ACL in early November. So that's part of it. I do think that defenses are playing Lamar Jackson a little differently. They've figured out that you really have to take away the middle of the field for him because he's got such good field vision and he's a really accurate passer, when he's kind of fitting the ball in there, but you're forcing him to throw outside the numbers. So it's partly the defenses, but partly the unrealistic standard. Like you said, he had one of the best second seasons in NFL history. And partly the talent around him and the offensive line isn't dominant, and you're kind of forcing Lamar Jackson to do a lot more than he had to do during his MVP season. And I think it's all that combination of factors. Has he regressed as a passer? I don't necessarily know if that's the case, but certainly the offense has regressed, and he hasn't been able to carry them the way he did, at times last year.
When you look at that first game, what stands out to me is the fact that Kevin Stefanski really did not know his offensive personnel at all when he put them out on the field for the very first time. Now, obviously, a lot of things went wrong in all phases of the game for the Browns on that day. But offensively, Baker Mayfield was rattled, as you mentioned. Martindale had a good game plan for him. They have really completely changed since then, as Baker Mayfield noted this week. So my question is, now I see that, Calais is back, Brandon Williams is back, Jimmy Smith might be back. Maybe you can tell us more about that. But do you think that this defense will be able to have similar success, even though the Browns now kind of have their identity, which is their two-headed monster, which is play action, which is getting Mayfield out on boots and keepers and things like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's what's really fascinating to me. Like I said before, it's so fun to talk about Lamar, but a lot of the chess match I think that'll be really exciting is that side of the ball, because you're right. You guys would know way better than I, but it seems like the Browns have really found a rhythm in terms of knowing what they want to do, knowing how defenses are going to play them and that sort of thing. So yeah, it'll be really interesting. Calais Campbell actually did miss practice today again with a calf injury that he's been dealing with for about a month. So he certainly won't be at 100%. I assume he'll play. And Jimmy Smith was back at practice, so I assume he'll play. So the Ravens defense is getting healthier in a lot of regards. But they've struggled against teams that can run the ball. Their losses this season, you look at the Titans, the teams that runs the ball a lot. You look at the Patriots, they lost to the Patriots, and they ran the ball effectively. Obviously, the Browns fit into that mold. If you can kind of develop a little bit of a rhythm against the Ravens, you stop Martindale from dialing up all those blitzes because you're in third and shorts instead of third and longs. That's really important. So it seems like Stefanski and with Chubb and Hunt and the way Mayfield has been playing, that they can do that. They can get into a rhythm. They can stay out of 3rd and longs and make things difficult. That said, the Ravens defense, it's pretty much every time over the past couple of years I've been covering them, every time I think it's a tough matchup, they do usually play pretty well, and they usually have a pretty good game plan. So to me, it's a fascinating matchup, and really one that could determine whether or not the Ravens make the playoffs, because I don't think the Ravens offense is really equipped this year to score, in the 30s regularly. And if the Browns do what they've been doing lately, that's how much you need to win. So it'll be fascinating to see that matchup play out.
Do you have a prediction for Monday's game yet? Is it too early to ask?
I mean, predictions, you can always change them as you go. But I think what I did for our predictions was 24-14 Ravens. I just, going back and watching that week 1 game, I have some trust in Don Martindale and that defensive staff with the Ravens, and the defense is getting healthy, that maybe they'll turn in one of their signature defensive performances. But who knows, man? That Browns offense has been good enough that I also wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way. But for now, I got 24-14 Ravens.
I've got to say, with the way I've been predicting games, that's just my motto. Who knows?
Yeah.
He is Aaron Kasinitz from Penn Live. That is our sister site, of course. You can head over to pennlive.com and see his work, and also give him a follow at Aaron Kaz Reports on Twitter. Aaron, we appreciate the time.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to Monday.